So after a little bit of consideration, I figured that the title of that isekai would be something along the lines of creating idols in this new world, or something along those lines, given his obsession. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and welcome back to Shining Song Starnova. Then last we left off, Kamijo apparently got hit by the anime Grim Reaper. By that I mean an oncoming vehicle. Oy, that was unexpected, Jesus. Before he could finish his exclamation, he was thrown from his seat when another car piled into the side of his vehicle. His luxurious BMW, thank you for what now we know the model of the car, well, it's a BMW at least, bent like a can as the two cars screeched to a halt onto the side of the road. Maria sighed as she turned off her cell. Judging from the buzz on social media, Quasar's life had been a blowout success. Ooh. Yeah, what's gonna happen when this new information hits the... Already, users on Chirper were raving about how their faith in Quasar had been restored. By now, most of the comments had once again returned to arguing about which girl's performance was the best. In other words, the indicated sex scandal had already been wiped from the public's memory. Well, there you have it. It was way too naive to think that Quasar would go down so easily. I know firsthand those girls would literally throw down their lives to make it to the top. Defeating them is not going to be anywhere that easy. Indeed, expecting Quasar's Budokan Live to be a bust may have merely been wishful thinking on our part. Also, yes, Yume Ara, not Aki's mother. I guess it's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Now, you see, that's a sensible saying. Stick to those. Unless I need a good laugh at some point in the future, in which case, all pockets, I guess. Anyways, it's not like anything's decided yet. Let's you all do our best. That doesn't make sense grammatically. Whatever, it's not Ton. Let's y'all do our best to make our Budokan a hit too. Oh, I told you guys you were being unreasonable. The enemy is quite powerful indeed. Also, yeah, you can use the term power because you are a Chunin. Aki let out a long sigh. Well, sounds like she's got a point. Anyways, it really was unreasonable to think the Grand Prix would be handed to us on a silver platter. But just because Quasar's won this battle doesn't mean the outcome of the war has been decided. We've still got our shot to amaze our fans too. We gotta redouble our efforts, train even harder, interact with the fans on social media even more. Alright, this is where the battle gets serious, from this point on. Drill Sergeant always right. Instead of wishing for our rivals to take a tumble, let's all diligently do our part to become star idols. The others murmured their agreement. Well, looks like it's a wrap for tonight then. The fight against Quasar has really heated up. As your producer, I'm pretty excited to see how this story will unfold. I'll do my part to back you girls up too. But as the girls were standing up to leave, Julie suddenly shot to life. I figured she'd be the first one to hear about it.
Shit.
Stop. Hang on, guys. Hang on just a second. This just hit the chan. Something's happened to Quasar. It's... The girls of Quasar rushed out of the rear entrance to the venue as soon as their live concluded. In fact, none of them had even had the time to change out of their stage uniforms yet. What happened? Why were they in the venue in such a rush? Karichi, it's Kamijo-san. He's been in an accident. No way. How serious? Kaori's heart sank when she saw the grave faces on Shiro and the rest of the staff members. That's what we're headed to find out right now. Come on, ladies, we're moving out. With that, the front row girls got into one of the staff members' cars and rushed over to the accident site. Shiro ran out of the front seat of the car and entered a chaotic blue and red lit street corner filled with police officers and medical staff. She pushed past the police tape and saw Kamijo lying on a stretcher. Kamijo-sama! Relief came over her when he picked himself up and faced her, looking unharmed. Stay away! But it was already too late. Oop. The firework display of flash photography enveloped Shiro as a mob of paparazzi documented everything which was unfolding. Oh. Oh. Okay. Nearby, a pair of police officers had detained a crazed Haruka. This was your big idea? Really? This was your plan? Or is this not just a plan, you just got drunk and this happened? Okay. Shiro gasped, her iron demeanor broken by the tirade of insults flung at her by her former kohai. Microphones and cameras at the ready, the paparazzi lapped up every one of Haruka's insane accusations, like sharks drawn to blood. Guess. What's all this? Oh, okay. Good. More flashes erupted as the rest of the front row girls appeared in the scene. Kamijo could only groan as the disaster unfolded around him. Their brilliant comeback live, now ruined by the return of this fool. Tomorrow the tabloids would be filled not with the news of Quasar's comeback, but their next big scandal. What a fiasco. Okay. Also not what I was expecting, but there you go. Oh, Jesus Christ. What a humiliation this is. Kamijo sat before the board of directors, fury bubbling in his gut. That bitch. If he ever saw her again, he'd murder her with his very hands. When Golden Calf Productions has invested so much money, so much manpower, so much political capital, all into making our Summer Budokan Live a success, why are these headlines we are greeted with the morning of what was supposed to be our comeback? Oda slammed a handful of tabloids on the table. Secret liaison between former Quasar Inokita and her executive producer? Heir of Golden Calf fortune humiliated minutes after Quasar Budokan Live. Quasar center Okuda Shiro involved in love triangle? Kamijo could only clench his fists and contain the explosive furnace raging within him. Seishi Kamijo has become a liability to this company. While it shames me to say this, I motion a vote for the immediate removal of Kamijo-san as the executive producer of Quasar. Until a suitable replacement has been found, I shall act as Quasar's interim producer and abate this crisis. Oh, yeah. All out of the goodness of your, quote-unquote, heart, I'm certain, yes. A second board member raised his hand and seconded the motion. Kamijo stood, his voice trembling with murder. So this was your plan all along? The theft of this company from my family? You may have been here the longest, Oda-san, but it was I who erected this very office you stand in right now. It was I who created the idol unit you lust after. All of it was through my hands. Then it is only I who can save Golden Calf. Me. Kamijo pounded his chest, his eyes wide with both confidence and madness. Perhaps our young master may have grown too accustomed to hearing the fawning whispers of his idols. The other board members chuckled and looked at Kamijo with derision. In their eyes, he was but a young upstart who had merely used his familial connections to secure his place as a producer of Quasar. Just an arrogant, self-indulgent heir spoiled by his father's riches. The motion's been seconded. All those in favor, raise your hand for the record. Before the vote could proceed, the elevator chimed. The board members gasped and kept their hands lowered as the door opened. A butler wheeled in Kamijo Sr., still clinging to life whilst connected to an iron lung behind him. Father. Kamijo, along with the rest of the board members, immediately stood and bowed. Good afternoon, Kamijo-sama. Now, gentlemen. I hear you folks are raising a fuss about my boy again. Oda bowed and assumed the position of the board spokesperson. Forgive me. I merely intended to put the company in. When an ant pricks a lion, What does it say to the kingdom if the lion responds in pain? Restructuring the company now would only invite more chaos. Give the boy one more chance. The Grand Prix. Oda closed his eyes and bowed. If that is what Kamisho-san desires, then I shall swallow my pride and do as you will. Good. Good. I knew I could trust you, Oda, to make the right choice. Then Kamisho Sr.'s butler slowly wheeled the dying elder back into the elevator. His eyes rested solely on his son as the elevator closed before him. Don't let me down. Oda, barely managing to mask his displeasure, turned to the board members. I rescind my motion. Then let us see how our young master performs at the Grand Prix, shall we, gentlemen? With that, the board members stood and filed out of Kamisho's office as well. Okay. Oh, never mind. Here we go. I was going to say, that didn't feel like it was done yet. Kamisho sat at his desk by himself. How had this debacle occurred? Had Oda set everything up? Was Haruka in cahoots with that old Tanuki? Had everything been a scheme by Oda to take Quasar away from him? And now, how would he once again restore the public's confidence? Shit! He tossed away his pen in fury. It rolled along the floor and came to a stop at Shiro's foot. Ah, you were there. Shiro knelt down and picked up his pen. Are you well enough to be working? Yeah. Ellipses. Have you come to laugh at me as well? Doubtlessly, it must give you, you of all people, the most satisfaction to see me in this position. No. Why? I make your life miserable. I've taken away your friends. I've taken away your life. And yet, you have given me something. The girls of Quasar have all willingly given up their lives to our uniform. From the moment we were inducted into the main membership, each of us knew what we were getting into. It is true, though. Sometimes we hate each other. Sometimes we stay up at night, unable to sleep because we're too busy conjuring up new and novel ways of killing each other in our minds. But, in the end, we are all members of Quasar. Even you. One big miserable family, huh? The Spacer's Choice family, no. I'm playing too much Outer Worlds. But a family nonetheless. At Shiro's signal, the rest of the girls appeared from behind various pieces of furniture in the office, like a bunch of idle kunoichi. What the fuck? When did you... I was quite amazed myself. True to the board meeting must have been dire if you failed to notice the entire membership of Quasar walk into your office. Kamisho-sama. Everyone's just bad-mouthing us again on the net. Even though our life was such a big success, it's like everyone has the memory of a goldfish. You mustn't embarrass yourself in front of our producer. But I'm already chirping messages to our supporters to rally behind us as I stand. According to my analysis, most of the hate being leveled against us at the moment likely comes from bots written by rival production companies. Kamisho couldn't help but chuckle at the sight of his girls. You don't hate me? Kamisho-sama. Of course we hate you. It's just a very affectionate kind of hate. In the life of a pro idol, we learn to put aside our personal feelings and instead devote ourselves to our unit. We are no longer individuals. We're no longer people. We are merely corporate assets. Perhaps we may all hate each other, but we are united in our love for Quasar. Because if Quasar falls, we all go with it. That is, perhaps, the greatest bond we will ever treasure in our lives. That is so. The bright center of the galaxy, around which the stars revolve. Quasar shall not fall so easily. We still have the results of the fan election. We can use that to restore buzz in the social media, and then... Oh. Actually, I've decided to temporarily suspend the fan election. Why? Kamisho turned around, masking his face to his Quasars. Perhaps that formula has now grown stale. We march to Odaiba. All of us united as Quasars. The girls exchange relieved smiles. Of course, Kamisho-sama. We'll all relay your new decision to all of our fans at once then. With that, Shiro ushered the girls out of his office. That was... an interesting turn of events. Certainly shedded some... Well, okay. It painted Quasar in a much more interesting light, which has been happening, well, more recently in the last couple episodes. There's been some actual development for them. Huh. Go figure. In any case, I'm going to end this episode here. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time, when we return and reunite with the Novas for apparently a training routine. I'll see you then.